So students, here we are continuing the second video of the electricity, in which I was delivering the introduction of this very unit. So the another point which you people will remember is first country or the country that used the electricity first, वो कंट्री जिसने सबसे पहले बिजली का इस्तेमाल जो किया उसके बारे में बताने जा रहा हूं। जो हम कहते हैं कि वो सबसे पहली कंट्री कौन है जहां से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का सबसे पहले इस्तेमाल हुआ, तो वो आपको बता दें स्ट्रीट्स ऑफ Surrey town of Godalming in UK. Godalming in United Kingdom. Streets of the Surrey town of the Godalming in UK, where this electricity was used in the form of the electric light bulbs. So the world's first public electricity supply was provided in the late 1881. In the late 1881, when the streets of the Surrey town of the Godalming in the UK were lit with the electric light bulbs. So, country UK and streets of the Surrey town, they were lit with the electric light bulbs for the very first time. Another point is, when did humans start using this electricity? Humans start using electricity. So when did humans start using this electricity? For the very justification of this very point, I would like to convey you that electrification happened around 1880s to 1960s. So electrification happened gradually, slightly around 1880s to 1960s, and in the beginning शुरुआत में electricity was a luxury. Electricity was a luxury, and only the super rich people, they could purchase it in the form of the local generators. However, until then, the availability of the electricity separate. Availability of electricity separate, and the cost become more affordable. So that the common people could afford it, could make use of this electricity. So when did humans start using electricity? you will remember this, that electrification happened around 1880s to 1960s, and in the beginning or in the initial stage, electricity was a luxury and only the super rich could afford it or purchase it in the form of local generators. But however, from then until 1960s, the availability of the electricity is separate, and likewise it is cost to become more affordable, so that everyone could make use of this electricity. Moving ahead, the introduction is not yet over. Moving ahead, let me tell you some more interesting points or features. Who is called as the father of the current or father of electricity? Father of current and father of the electricity. Who is called? Who has got the crown on his head of the title father of current or father of electricity? The crown of this title doesn't go to a mere single person or single scientist or single physicist. So many physicists or scientists came within the list, but I would like to mention some of them here. First of all, let me mention Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, also father of current, electricity. Another one, Edison, Thomas Edison. Another one, that is Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday was a self-taught scientist, excelled in chemistry and physics, and his tenure was from 1761 to 1867. Michael Faraday, Edison, and Nikola Tesla, these are the first physicists or the scientists who are considered to be the father of the electric current or father of the electricity. Moving ahead, let me give you a history or simple, I may say, simple history of the electricity. Beginning of the electricity, or simply we can say generation. Before the generation of electricity, generation of electricity, it began slightly around 100 years ago. Generation of the electricity began slightly around 100 years ago. But what about the people who had no electricity, which were not familiar with this electricity, who even had not dreamed of this electricity? How did they survive? So let me tell you, before the generation of the electricity began, people used to lit their homes, by making use of the kerosene lamps in the form of the lanterns, candles, or diyas in Hindi. and for their food to be cooled, for the cold storage of their food items, they make use of the ice boxes, because electricity was not discovered at that times. In order to warm their rooms, for the warmth of their rooms, they made use of the wood burning or coal burning stoves. Coal burning stoves. Later, Benjamin Franklin, beginning with the Benjamin Franklin's experiments in America, we got this electricity which entirely revolutionized our modern lives. Another point which I would like to mention here is, we get electricity, or we can say the electricity which we get, we obtain it from the, remember this thing, जो बिजली हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, the electricity which we get, it is a secondary source of energy. So electricity is a secondary source of energy. Secondary source. Why secondary source? Because secondary source of energy, this electricity, it is actually obtained by the conversion of primary sources. So the electricity which we get, it is a secondary source of energy because it is obtained by the conversion of the primary sources like coal, oil, we can say natural gas, or we can mention nuclear power and other natural sources of energy. Do you know why most of the cities and the towns are built alongside the waterfalls? Waterfall is also a primary source of mechanical energy that is used to harness the water wheels to work. So likewise, we get this electricity from those primary sources of energy. Another point which I would like to mention here, current is a word of English language. Current is a word of English language which simply means flow. So all the words, remember this thing, all the words in the physics which start with E-L-E-C-T-R, electro, comes from a Greek word which is electro, and this electro means beaming sun. So what I mentioned here, please remember it. All the words in the physics subject which start with E-L-E-C-T-R and we pronounce it as electro. I mentioned K after the C. So it is a Greek word. And this Greek word, it means beaming sun. Another, if we mention it like this, electron. Electron begins with electro. Electricity. See, first electro, यहाँ पे भी electro, और see another word, electronics, वहां पे भी देखिए electro, और यही इलेक्ट्रो जो है इसका मतलब है ग्रीक वर्ड है, मतलब है इसका बीमिंग सन. एंशिएंट ग्रीक में अगर हम देखें अब कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो इलेक्ट्रॉन की बनी है, तो ग्रीक में इसे लिखा जाता है इलेक्ट्रॉन, electron, and this electron means amber. Amber, do you know amber? Amber is actually a petrified tree tissue, and the ancient Greek believed that if this amber rod is rubbed with a cloth, it may develop charge, and likewise it will attract the small pieces of leaves and other things like straw. So I was just distinguishing between the giving you the distinct difference between the two, electricity and current. I myself accept that both are same and synonyms of each other. Some used to say electricity, or some used to call it as current. Both are correct, both are I may say well enough or good terms, but there is a difference. Electricity, I mentioned what is electricity. Current, flow, but it is an English word, and English word जिसका मतलब है flow, simply flow. जैसे हम कहते हैं current of water waves, current of fresh air. सो ओवरऑल अब बताएं कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और करंट जो है तो ये सेम, लेकिन थोड़ा सा फर्क तो है. सो बेहतर है कि आप इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वाली टर्म क्या ही ज्यादा यूज करें, क्योंकि करंट जो है ये तो इंग्लिश में भी यूज होता है. ठीक, सो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को देखना हो तो सिंपली आप कह सकते हैं फ्लो ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. ठीक, सो इन आवर डेली लाइफ एंड द एकेडमिक स्टडी वी यूज द टर्म करंट टू पॉइंट एट द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, बट एक्चुअली you can now say, or you can now conclude that current of electrons is called electricity. So flow निकालिए और वहां पे आप लिखिए current of electrons is called electricity. Got it now? Finally, before I may conclude, and tomorrow inshallah by the grace of the Almighty I will like to continue the video classes of this very unit in order to benefit the students. So lastly, let me tell you, electricity is a basic part of nature and one of the most widely used forms of the energy. And if you people